Hello everybody, this is the second video about renting in Estonia. In this video I will talk about the key areas where you can search for an apartment. I will talk about websites, I will talk about Facebook groups, and I will also answer a few key questions. The most important of that is when exactly should you start looking for an apartment? Should you start looking when you are here or should you start looking when you are back home? I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know if you have any more questions about renting in Estonia. I would like to cover them, and make sure to visit the link in the description below where I have all the resources that I will mention in this video. Okay, let's go. Part 2, searching for an apartment in Tallinn. So now that you are armed with all the information that I have asked you to collect and you have it in front of you, let's dive in and start searching for an apartment. There are many different ways to search for an apartment, and I will go from my least favorite to my most favorite. First way to search for an apartment is through brokerage firms. Firms like they help you, they take the job, they look at the requirements that you have and you tell them, and then they just look for you. These firms, I really don't like them because I think in this day and age you should probably be able to search for an apartment yourself. I also don't want to spend some money giving them because they also charge quite much in terms of commission and also in terms of the contract fee. But I understand that if you're coming with a good budget, with a good salary, then this might be something that you look for. If money is not an issue for you, you just go to the firm and then you tell them, okay, I want this kind of an apartment, this kind of a place, and you just find it for me, and they will do all the legwork for you. I don't like it, but that's my personal opinion. The second way to look for an apartment is actually through various websites. So there are a couple of websites, for example, City24, KV.ee, which have consolidated information on all the rental properties that are frequently coming up. Their search tools are actually quite good, and those websites, I would say, are able to give you quite a good idea on different prices in different areas of the city that you want to live in. But please understand that a lot of these entries in these have brokerage prices. So what I mean by that is that once you sign a contract, the person who is mediating that will also get the first month's rent. So please make sure that if you're looking for something without a commission, then you specifically look for that kind of search. There are different search options in both of these websites in which you can specify the area, the budget, and also many other different parameters. As I said before, the links to these websites will be in a page that I have put down below. So this was the second way to search for an apartment. And the third is actually one of my favorites, and that is going through Facebook. Now, Facebook Marketplace and Facebook groups are a really good way to find good apartments in Estonia. There are a couple of very good groups in Tallinn, in Estonia overall, which have a lot of people coming up. A lot of these groups have entries which are directly from the owner, so you don't have to pay any contract fee or commission to the broker who is doing this. But this one is probably the most tedious. It takes the most time as compared to the other two, because in here you actually have to start search for and look for an apartment. Now, there are different ways in which you can search. For example, I will list a couple of groups in this in the page below, and then you can look for different entries that come up. What I would like you to do when you're looking for this and you're starting to search is to start getting an idea of which areas have what kind of prices. You will start to get a fairly good idea as you see through different entries. You will start to see, okay, these areas are a bit more expensive, these areas a little bit more cheaper. Generally, as a rule, the closer you get to the city center, the old town, the more expensive it gets, and the further away you go, it gets a little bit cheaper. The first thing that you should do when you start to search for an apartment is obviously to just consume, look for all the ads that are coming up, and start to make a list of the apartments, the areas, and the prices that are coming up. The second thing that you should do is to start posting in these groups. Now, a few of these groups are Estonian. I would recommend that you post there in Estonian. You can use Google Translate because that actually helps a little bit more in your impression. Searching is a very tedious process. It can take weeks, months, finding an apartment. There are a lot of times that apartments open up and you reach out to them and they say that okay, it's gone. The market in Estonia is quite heated up, really. There are a lot of construction apartment projects that are going on. Prices since I came here in 2014 have grown up so much. If you are not living in Estonia and you're looking for an apartment from the outside, then my first recommendation to you would be, when you're coming here, is to not book an apartment before you come here. My recommendation to you would be to spend some time in a hotel, maybe an Airbnb or a hostel if you're very tight on a budget. Come here, search for an apartment. Actually, you should start searching way before you come here, and you should have lined down some interviews already that when you come here you can start going to them. But for a month at least you should be here, and then you should sign a contract when you are actually here. You should go and visit a place person before you sign a contract. Now, a few words on the communication when you find an apartment that you like. The first thing that you should do is probably send a message in Estonian. Be as respectful as you can be. You can use Google Translate if you can. You can explain that you are from abroad. Please understand that it's very tedious. It might get a little difficult because generally the landlords and landladies prefer people who are local, who are here. But again, the references and of course your budget help in this case here. So send them a message. A lot of times you might not get a reply. A lot of times they might say that they are not renting to any foreigners, which is totally fine. It's up to the landlord or landlady, whoever they want to, where they want to rent to. And a lot of times it might happen that they might invite you and they would say that okay, we want to, well, you can come over and you can have a look and we can look at these things. So that was mostly about searching for an apartment, and that is where I want to end the video. So thank you for watching, and I hope it helps, and if there are any more questions that you would like me to address, then please ask me. Thank you so much, take care, and bye bye.